Brodes Media.
Tell me how it's possible to know that Zack Wheeler is fucking amazing, and then he somehow wows you. On Sunday, today, I was wowed. A one-hitter and fucking Austin Hayes of all people. What a joke. He's rounding third base, egging on the fans, and it's funny. During that at-bat, I was on the treadmill with the weight vest on, okay? And I was watching, and I was thinking to myself how I'm going to incorporate Austin Hayes into the show. Didn't think it would be the first 7 seconds, but here we are. And I saw someone who covers the team said, I have no idea why Austin Hayes is getting booed by the fans. And I'm going, I do. Boo! Boo! He's in 300 and doing damage with the Reds. He couldn't do a damn thing here. Now, of course, there were some real issues going on, and maybe that's why physically he was being hamstrung, if you will. But we didn't get the production we were looking for, and now he's raking. That's why we did it. And then he's the one that hit the bomb of Wheels. Oh, man. Wheels. Come on, man. Wheels. Thank you, dude. Thank you. You're so amazing. I felt something. I felt butterflies. I felt goosebumps. I felt just awesome feelings. No other way to put it. I watched him throw an off-speed pitch to De La Cruz. And De La Cruz tried to send a piss missile to Mars. He missed it. Of course he did. And the way Wheels gets the ball back from JT, and then he plants his foot on the rubber, is kicking some dirt off or whatever, getting ready for the next pitch. So nonchalant, like, dude, how dumb are you? You thought you were really going to square up that pitch, you idiot, you moron, you dope, you fool, you dumb ass. And he ends up getting them with some sick cheese on the outside part of the dish later on in the at-bat. He's saying something under his breath as he's going back to the dugout to 50,000 fans going, Wheels! 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 Unreal. I don't even know what else to say. Every single start at this point, it's almost like the city comes together as one. And we all admit that, oh my God, this is just one of the best free agent signings in the history of Philadelphia sports. He's that filmy. I mean, there was only one extra batter today. You got the minimum that you could see in an effort. And because of a solo shot, and one solo shot only, it was just one more than the minimum. And he does it every time he touches the mound. It never stops. And it was a real damn shame that we were even debating if he would get enough run support by the end. Luckily, the savior of all saviors, Bryson Stott, hits one to right field, and thank the Lord they were able to take two, and they could salvage that incredible outing by Wheeler. He gets the ninth, cruise control. Luckily, we didn't have to worry about anybody coming out of the bullpen and blowing this thing and having this nasty breath, nasty taste in her mouth following a 4th of July weekend. Whew. That would have been miserable. Now, Friday, this series started off with me being red in the face angry. And it wasn't because I was sitting on the damn beach, soaking in the sun, falling asleep without reapplying, and it looked like I was a burnt lobster. Although that may have happened Saturday. I was red in the face, though, because Friday, that was one of the most pathetic performances by this group, including Topper. Topper can't get in a challenge in time. Sosa, the double play at home plate. You had first and third, no outs. You can't score a damn run. They want to challenge it, but the leader can't actually execute that enough. I don't know if he was safe or not, but just the fact that that was happening, if it's malpractice by the leader of the team, then most likely it's going to be malpractice from the entire team. What else happened? Hold on. Bases loaded, no one out. They only scored 1 run. Bohm, bases loaded, 2 outs in a 9-6 ball game. Swings at the first pitch in the dirt, and then he watches strike 3 right down to the heart of the plate. He starts throwing a tantrum. He starts throwing his helmet, throwing his bat, barking at the ump as if that pitch didn't fly right down the middle of the zone, dude. And even Rob Thompson was annoyed after the game because he gave a very generic, quick response to, what'd you think on that third? Yeah, it was a strike. Waiting for the next question right after that. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yet we have Bohm acting like that. Now, Bohm ended up coming up large on Saturday. I'm just walking you through how I felt throughout the weekend, game by game. Friday, I was so aggravated. JT Realmuto couldn't turn a double play. He's throwing the ball at somebody's back of the neck, running down to first base. You're lucky as hell that the helmet flew off, hit the runner's cleat. The helmet was in midair, and somehow that's what JT's ball hit. But that was a cannon right to the guy's back of the neck. That was dysfunctional. It's a lot of chaos. A lot of missed opportunities offensively. A lot of disgusting base running. A lot of poor defense. And they lose. They responded to that pretty well. What stings, though, is Jesus Luzardo got carved up again. Double, double, double. Walk, walk, walk. I couldn't even keep track on all the chaos that was happening with Cincinnati at that point. 2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks, and doubles. Seriously, were pissing me off. But he was getting crushed out of the stretch. Whenever he's got guys on bases, he's a completely different pitcher. Listen to these numbers from Matt Gelb of The Athletic, because he put this out on that Friday night, and I bookmarked it just for this instance. Since Luzardo adjusted his mechanics from the stretch after the June 5th start in Toronto, he's seen a drastic gap in his performance. With no runners on base, they are hitting .226 against him with 6 walks and 23 strikeouts. With runners on base, they're hitting .423 against him. He has 7 walks and 11 Ks. .423 out of the stretch. That is wow type of damage. That is crazy, absurd nonsense. So they got to figure out and clean up this Jesus Luzardo thing. I'm starting to wonder if he thought he was tipping pitches. Now he's trying to not tip pitches, but he was never actually tipping pitches. I don't think tipping pitches was ever the problem. But he's going back to the tape and trying to do certain things with his glove and trying to do certain things with his hand so nobody can pick up. He's trying to fix an issue that's not even there. And then that's causing him to think about that instead of thinking about actually executing his pitches. And now here we are. And it's to the point where McAble gets sent down. Taijuan Walker's getting slid in. Listen, they did not want to go with the yo-yo Taijuan Walker bullpen starter thing. They made that very clear. And Andrew Painter's getting beat up a bit in AAA. So it's a very dysfunctional spot right now in the rotation after Wheeler, Ranger, and Sanchez. And it's a shame that Sanchez and Ranger don't get the nods that they deserve for the All-Star game. Am I going to cry about it? No, there were a few people that got boned, Trey Turner included. You know I'm not a big Trey Turner fanboy, but based off the numbers, this first half, there is a real legitimate argument that he got destroyed. But I'm hoping that there could be a benefit from this. Rangers pissed. Sanchez pissed. Turner's pissed to prove people wrong. You didn't think I was an all-star this year? Fuck you. And then he goes nuclear in the postseason and smacks around a .412 batting average with some pop. Or Sanchez goes out there and that changeup is dancing, that changeup is dirty, and that changeup is creating a ridiculous amount of swing and misses. Let it burn them. We got Kyle Schwarber. We got Zack Wheeler. They deserve it without a doubt. I'll tell you someone who doesn't deserve it at all right now, especially based on the way he's playing. That's Bryce. Woof. Bryce is looking bad. And it's not even to the point where I think the wrist is bothering him, even though it is. I just think he looks confused on what's even come. Watching pitches that are hittable, go right by him, not even picking the bat off the shoulder. His at-bats are bad right now. And it could be very similar to the Luzardo thing where he's so worried about the wrist either giving him problems or not giving him problems for each at-bat that he's so focused on that, it's taking him away from the execution of what the pitcher's throwing, trying to grab a sense of what's coming out of his hand. He's so worried about his own personal issues that it's not allowing for him to develop and take that next step since returning from the IL. I hope I'm wrong. Look, the team won. I do got to admit, this series feels very similar to the series against the San Diego Padres. It doesn't move much for me. I still saw their offensive woes and bases loaded, only scoring 1 run with no outs. In the playoffs, you need to put up 3 at a minimum. You need to have a bases clearing double at a minimum to try and grab separation. You saw it in the first game and the third game of this series. The offense is just so nauseating, if that's even the right word. It still pisses me off like no other. Nick Castellanos with some ugly at-bats and high leverage moments. All that. Ugh. But they keep winning series. So they're winning series, yet sometimes how they're winning them and the frustration. I've never seen such a winning baseball team be so annoying to consume, be so frustrating to watch. Yet then there are moments where it's spectacular. Watching Zack Wheeler was awesome. I mean, there's just no other way around it. What I got to experience with Zack Wheeler throwing a gem, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was laughing, pissing myself laughing, in tears laughing, because you could watch the Reds. They were trying to watch the replay as they were walking back to the dugout after a strikeout. They had zero business of even being up there trying to attack. You look dumb as hell. You look stupid. You're not going to figure it out. I mean, you're just not going to fucking figure it out. This guy's light years better than you, and he's just going to continue to shove these nasty pitches down your throat. You suck. And that was unbelievable.